Hey, Lindsey Grace Darby with Usborne Books and More. I'm going to share with you about our Lift the Flap books today. Now, there are 3 different levels of these Lift the Flap books that I'm going to share with you. We've got the very first questions, and then just questions and answers, Lift the Flap books. Now, this is a series of nonfiction books, and you may be like, my kid's a little too young for nonfiction. Nay, I say. So, here we go. Very first Lift the Flap questions. The first one I'm going to share with you is something that they all ask. What is poop? Okay? A little bit cleaner version. What are germs? So I'm going to share with you the inside of these, and you're going to see, okay, so this is very first questions and answers. So this breaks it down to a preschooler's level of what things are. Okay, because you know they're going to ask, what are germs? Germs are tiny living things. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know all the ins and outs and details about what germs are. They just want a quick answer of what it is. So, let's see. You open it up there. Germs are tiny and you can't see them unless you zoom in really close with a machine called a microscope. And that's all they want to know. It's actually probably a little more than they want to know. So, how do germs spread? Can my body fight germs? How do medicines help? And how can I stop germs? Okay, so important, flu season is upon us. Isn't it always though? Wash your hands, okay? Brush your teeth. Really simple ways that you can tell your kids about germs. And the same goes for the poop. So the next level up is Lift the Flap first questions and answers. So these are a little bit more complex subjects. For example, why do we need bees? Okay, so you're looking at still preschool age probably, but maybe a kindergartner, even first and second graders are going to enjoy this information. What are bees? Bees are buzzing, flying insects. Many have stripes and some make honey. Will they sting me? I'm a little beetle. How many different kinds of bees are there? Let's see the answer to that. There's a stingless bee and a blue orchard bee. There's over 20,000. From the tiny stingless bee to the blue orchard bee. There's all sorts of bees. Did you know that? I didn't know there were 20,000. Why do we need bees? How do bees make honey? Who's who in a hive? This is actually a conversation me and my kids have been having recently about different types of insects and stuff. They've been studying insects in their schoolwork. Amazing bees. How long have bees been on Earth? Can bees live in towns? How do bees buzz? Ooh, how do bees buzz? Let's find out. By moving their wings very quickly, 200 times in 1 second. And this is the kind of facts that your kids are going to know and they're going to remember. I know my boys, once they learn something, they can tell it to me like 5 years later. But ask them where their shoes are and they have no idea. Am I right? This is another one, how do I see? There's several of these. I say several. There's a good handful and selection of the first questions and answers and the very first questions and answers. These are both, very first, $12.99. First, $14.99. Then we get into lots and lots and lots of questions and answers about. So we've got questions and answers about your body. We've got Lift the Flap periodic table, Lift the Flap times tables. These that I'm going to show you right now are the questions and answers ones. And then there's a whole other section of Lift the Flaps that are just information. They're not necessarily this questions and answers. So lots and lots of nonfiction that is fun and engaging for your kids. So this one, for example, this was one of the very first Usborne books that we got when I first started getting Usborne books. Questions and answers about your body. This has got some amazing information in it for your kids. Okay, I love how on the first page it gives you the table of contents, but it's in a fun and interactive way. If you want to know when do people learn to walk, talk, and grow beards, you're going to look at page 1, and they're obviously numbered there. Okay. How does my body work? See pages 4 to 5. What are freckles, tonsils, and muscles? So I love the table of contents and how it's broken into questions that your kids are going to ask about the body. So, when do babies learn to walk? Let's open it up and see how the information there's a little bit more meat here for your kids that they're going to want to know, and these are questions that they're asking. Okay? Where? Gives you some information there about where, how, why, what, yes or no. Is there anyone in the world just like me? No, there are billions of people in the world, but we're all different in some way. Even identical twins aren't exactly the same. They have different fingerprints, for example. So, I absolutely love these. So, and then it kind of gives you a checklist of things that you can go back and look to find. And these are also internet linked books. So that's such a cool thing. If you've never had one of our internet linked books, if you go to usbornequicklinks.com, you type in the name of the book. We just used this with history yesterday. It's such a cool thing. Usbornequicklinks.com, type in the name of the book, and then it goes page by page. You can find different resources on the internet that go to your book and what the pages are that you're talking about. Yesterday we were studying about pyramids and Egypt and Egyptians and that kind of thing, and we went to usbornequicklinks.com, typed in Ancient World, which was the book we were looking at, and we found YouTube videos and games and all sorts of different websites about what we were studying. Such a great feature of our books that are internet linked, and these are, so I'm going to just share real quick these other ones that I've got here. Questions and answers about food, questions and answers about science, and my newest one that I love, questions and answers about art. So it's not just sciencey type stuff. We've got them for everything, math, art. We've even got some literature ones like Shakespeare. Amazing. So add a Lift the Flat book to your purchase today and let me know what you get. Okay? Thanks, guys.